very distinguished personalities on the dais, Honorable Vice Chancellor, PG Crop Science, Dr. Yadav, Pradhan, Director at the Barley Institute, Director of Research of this great university, Coordinator, and all the distinguished delegates from this country and abroad. Of course, I want to take the name of each and every one of you, but probably I will be certainly missing many of them. Let me recognize Dr. Ishal Mehta, Hoffman, Baum, Joshi, Anjilal, all the very distinguished directors of our ICAR institutes, ADGs from the headquarters, Director Ratari, very distinguished scientists working with wheat and barley research, faculty members, other staff of this great university. I can see a good number of students here. And that is really very heartening to see that many of the students have joined this event. So I welcome each and every one of you. और बहुत ही खुशी की बात है कि हमारे किसान भाई बंधु ने भी इस मीटिंग में भाग लिया है। मैं सबको बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं और बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन, हार्दिक अभिनंदन। Honorable Vice Chancellor, first of all, let me thank you. Thank you for organizing this particular event in your university. With all these very excellent arrangements which you have made, with all the hospitalities which you have provided, and all the support which you have been providing for the whole wheat and barley program, so on behalf of Council, and of course on behalf of our wheat and barley research group, let me thank you and your whole staff. Friends, maybe around 2 to 3 weeks back, I had an opportunity to meet our honorable Prime Minister. And he was reviewing the whole Indian agriculture. And there are only 5 or 6 persons. 2 secretaries of Ministry of Agriculture, 3 persons from PMO, and then of course honorable Prime Minister himself. After reviewing and everything, he said one sentence, and I just want to convey it to you. He said that wheat program of India is a very successful program. He says Indian agriculture has achieved several things, but the achievements in wheat is particularly significant. He specifically mentioned about wheat 2 times. And that shows the achievement and contribution of all of you, but not only for this country's food security, but also for the whole. And today I was indeed very happy when the statue of Dr. Norman Borlaug was handed over to our director, Dr. Ganesh Research. I think this is one such program which was led by none other than Dr. Borlaug. And then we could really achieve so many other things. So on behalf of all of you, and on behalf of the whole farming community of this great country, let me put my respectful homage to that great person, Dr. Norman Borlaug, who could really initiate the program, and because of which we are here today. Several achievements have already been talked about in wheat. And again, for the record production of wheat this year, in spite of several of the challenges, 112 plus million tons. Again, a testimony of your contribution. So therefore, on behalf of ICAR, the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India, let me congratulate each and every one of you who have been associated with wheat program of this country. And because of your contributions, we could make this achievement. So congratulations once again to each and every one. Friends, what is to be done? What are the challenges? All of these things have been very explicitly mentioned by the former speakers. Dr. Sharma mentioned about all the challenges and what are the expectations. Dr. Pradhan talked about the science part of it, how all those genes, glucose and everything should be pyramided and then new varieties should be developed. Dr. Yadavji talked about all these seed systems and everything, and also what kind of infrastructure and resources we have got in this country to promote wheat and barley research. If I take 1 or 2 points from Dr. Yadav, that more than 200 scientists are working in this particular area. Through ECRIP itself, we are spending more than 20 crores. If you calculate the total expenditure, of course it is going to be even much more than that. But then the whole program has delivered. The whole ECRIP has delivered for improving productivity and total production of wheat and barley. So in this kind of meeting, which we do every year, I think few things we need to discuss and ponder. One is of course what we have achieved so far, and that has been doing very explicitly, which is certainly. It is not a mere achievement, it is a great achievement. But in this meeting we should also ponder of what exactly we are doing now and what we should be doing in coming years. Not only 1 year or 2 years, but of course many years to come. And there I have got few suggestions for the consideration of all of you. New research areas I am not going to mention. You know about it. It could be quality, it could be value addition, it could be processing friendly varieties, it could be improvement in production technologies, protection technologies, it could be biofortification. Of course it should be climate resilient and so on, and in each and every areas you are working. But then for ECRIP, we probably now need to have a very serious look of what we should be doing from now onwards. So far our green revolution technologies, which we started 1965, 66, and then of course we have harvested a very big dividend out of it. But till today, probably we are continuing with those kinds of technologies and tools. Now we have to shift the gear. We have to change the gear. Going into different gear in a different way. Not only we need to increase our production, but we have to increase that production with less and less amount of inputs. And for everything, Government of India has made a very strong and very strict targets. So we cannot go on increasing production and productivity by applying more and more of fertilizer. Now Government of India has got a target that this has to be reduced by around 50%. Of course, it is very near, but then we can continue till level up to 2027. So how to increase productivity with less amount of fertilizer? How to increase productivity with less amount of water? And how to increase or sustain productivity with less or no application of chemical pesticides? Can we do that? That's a challenge. But we have to do that. So therefore we cannot continue of all the green revolution technologies. It has contributed immensely. We should be continuing with this one. But then there is need to shift the whole paradigm of research and development in the field of wheat and barley research. How to achieve this? Again, labor is going to be another problem. Industry is now coming forward to process all these things, and the requirements are also going to change. Can we deliver those? And whether our equip system or our research on wheat and barley is really gearing up to deliver those? Or still we are thinking of continuing what we have been doing for the last 30-40 years or so. This is the perfect place. This meeting is the perfect occasion where we really need to ponder about all of this. See, we are researchers. And our job is to find the solution of all the problems, whatever is coming on the way. To address all the challenges, whatever are on the way today and which will be coming tomorrow. We could get record amount of production, 112 million tons. But how stable is this production? That stability in the production is another very important element. Let me again give you one striking example how stability is in a shaky kind of ground. When this year, as Dr. Yadav was mentioning, there was some kind of increase in heat and then calamities, rain, cyclone. Not only the researchers, the whole government of India was also rather disturbed. And not only India, even other countries are also disturbed. Because today, India is not only concerned about its own food security, but also the food security of many other countries. India today is a global player for ensuring food and nutrition security. So therefore, whenever all these climatic changes parameters happening, increasing terminal heat or cyclone and something, how robust our system was, that we will be able to ensure government of India or everybody whoever is concerned that you need not to bother. We have got our technologies on the ground. And they will be believing us, yes, we need not to bother. When that time will come. This time, fortunately, this last year 112 million tons production. Around 45% of the area in northwestern plain zone of wheat. 45% area was planted with climate resilient varieties. And that was a big, big success. As per this year's seed index, as I was told, that around 35% of the seed index which have come are from those climate resilient varieties for the whole country. Earlier was 45% for only northwestern plain, but now for whole country, around 35% of area will be planted with climate resilient varieties, and that will ensure up to certain extent that whether the terminal heat is coming or some other kinds of calamities, wheat production is going to increase or remain stable. So that should not be without concern. Now that kind of stability in the technology and of course in our development system should be there, that come what may, wheat production is going to remain stable and we should not be bothering anything about it. Now these are the macro scale kind of aspirations which all of us need to discuss and develop a good work. Now for ECRIP, I have got few suggestions for your consideration. Number one, we generate huge amount of data in the whole ECRIP process. Not only for wheat and barley, for any other. We have got 74 all independent research projects in several commodities, several areas and so on. This huge amount of data which we generate, and we have been generating for last say 5 decades or so, till today we could not make the best use of this data. Today we do not have those data also. So can we develop, and already some beginning has been made, a system, a robust system where all the data being generated in the ECRIP process will be used for further research, for further projection, for further variety development and so on. So this is number one. Number two, which within the ECRIP system we need to do. But before that, let me tell you, just I think 2021 or so, we published a bulletin from the council of reorienting ECRIPs in the country, and we took the example of rice. That is available in our ICAR website also. So there we gave several suggestions. My request will be please go through that particular bulletin which was developed by NRI Pathak and ICAR Hyderabad. But that was of course for rice, but then several other things were very common which can be adapted for wheat and barley also. So number one is of course data. Number two is the way we collaborate with our universities. See, funding is going to be limited and limited. And with new research and new technologies, we need not to do the way we have been doing so far. With new science, with new tools, we will be able to do the things in a much better way. So what could be those ways? And with that, the role of universities with which we have got very successful ECRIP program is going to play very important. Universities have worked very closely with us, and we could provide good amount of budgetary support. But probably in times to come, we have to find some other modalities in which, with limited amount of budget, how best we will be able to get more efficiency and more product conversion. One problem which we observe in our ECRIP system is very frequent transfer of the people from one point to another, from one job to another job. How to make a kind of balance of it. And all the universities really take a very serious note of this. Third thing, whenever a young scientist joins in any ECRIP system, we really need to train them. Many young scientists come to me and they say, we have joined but we do not know much about how the whole system operates. What are the new tools and technologies? So, Dr. Ganandarji, I think this also we need to make a point that whenever a new person joins, let us try to make some kind of program for the capacity building of those people. Next one could be, we have got several centers, funded as well as voluntary centers. Now at this point of time, we are requesting all the centers to do similar kind of jobs. Though every center has got their difference in capability in doing research, in testing the products and so on. So probably we can make some kind of deliberation that which center should be involved in only testing and which centers should be involved for doing research, development of product and many other things. Every center may not be well equipped in terms of manpower as well as other facilities to do all the things. So probably you can also think of, and you can have some kind of discussion here, that how best, if you can identify some centers which will be doing only testing and they might not be requiring so much of funding support, but those centers which will be doing research, development of products and varieties and so on, they should be supported well. They should be supported well so that they will be able to deliver whatever is expected out of them. Next one is of course giving little bit more emphasis on the technologies other than crop variety. Our variety development and release program is very robust, very successful. But then with climate change and many other challenges which we are facing and we are going to face in coming years, with other technological crop production, nutrient management, water management, protection, these technologies are going to be more and more important. Now how ECRIP will be able to internalize within the system to promote those kinds of technologies, to develop those kinds of technologies. Otherwise we will be having very good varieties, but then if you cannot provide them with other package of practices, you will not be in a position to attain the potentially what is achievable, what is attainable. So some more emphasis to to some of those areas also we need to give. Then of course while releasing all these publications, our scientist colleague friend came when we were releasing one booklet on Barley, and he was very right. He very specifically told me, sir, if Barley wali jo kitab hai, please read it. Please read this particular bulletin because barley is going to be one very important crop in the coming years and decades. And I agree to this. India can play a very important role in enhancing productivity and production of barley. Let us give a little bit more emphasis on that area also within the eclipse. The General Secretary talked about durum wheat, which is another area. Now, why I am saying all of these things, that whatever we have been doing conventionally for the last 30, 40 years, these are perfect. But then the time has come where we have to venture into other areas. That doesn't mean that we are going to stop all of these areas. This will continue. But then few other areas we really need now start our journey. Because those are the areas which are still unexplored, which are still untraveled. So let us travel in those areas, and if you are an early starter, you will be able to get more and more benefit out of the applications. And that's what we really need to do. Friends, all of you sitting here are experts in wheat and barley research. So I don't need to talk much about it. You know best what is to be done. You also know best what needs to be done. And the main purpose of this meeting is, as I said, three. Of course, celebrate our achievements. And as I said, when Honorable Prime Minister acknowledges the contribution of wheat program in this country, then probably who could be the more better or higher authority than Honorable Prime Minister to acknowledge your contribution. So that is being celebrated, that is being acknowledged, that is being recognized. But then, once you are recognized, your responsibility becomes more and more in times to come, when all the challenges are. Challenges are really going to intensify. Whatever we are talking about climate change is not simply increasing temperature in the month of February or March by 1, 2 or 3, 4 degrees. It could be even much worse. Cyclone once or twice, no. It could be even much more than that. All these climatic extremes are going to be more, not only in frequency, but also in terms of intensity. More intensity. Our crops, particularly crop like wheat, has to face all those extreme events of climate. And only science can solve those problems. So whenever you develop a technology, as it is already said, the three things probably we need to keep in mind. First is the science part must be sound. Without the sound science, you simply cannot progress. Then of course the economic part. And then third of course policy as well as political part. Policy is again very important. Even today when you talk of diversification of rice wheat area from one part to other, policy which is not allowing it to happen. If we can develop a sound policy, then probably many of the things which scientists have developed can be taken on. But then our job will be to internalize all these three, science, economics, as well as policy part, so that whatever technology we develop, we will be able to reach it to the farmers. So once again, I congratulate each and every one of you for your success. I thank our international partners, CIMIC in particular, ICAR and many others, who have contributing and certainly will continue contributing in development of wheat and barley program in this country. We very sincerely acknowledge your contributions. And we also look forward to strengthen our collaboration, to get more out of this collaboration. And of course, in the process, let the whole program go in such a way that India will not only be able to produce sufficient for its own consumption, but also will remain a major player for global food security, and nutrition security, which is really the requirement of the day. Many countries are now looking towards India. Many countries. And it is our responsibility to fulfill the aspirations of those countries. And that will be possible only if we have got a very sound, very strong science base. Fortunately, we have. Fortunately, we are standing in that particular position. So from Indian Council of Agriculture Research side and from Government of India side, let me assure you that we will be providing all the necessary support, including human resources, including fund and other requirements to strengthen wheat and barley program of this country. Thank you very much. I wish this program will be a very successful one. We will have intense deliberation of all these scientific, economic and policy issues so that at the end of this meeting, we will come out with a very clear-cut roadmap of how we are going to reorient the whole wheat and barley program to deliver what is expected of it. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.